how can we be willing to be uncomfortable and actually learn and stop this cyclical generational ignorance? Your quote, I think you have a couple sweatshirts I've seen, but one of them says, prejudice is an emotional attachment, if I remember, to ignorance.
Prejudice as an emotional commitment to ignorance.
So how can we, please kick us in the rear and help us give up our attachment to ignorance because it's more comfortable? Privilege.
You're only, we got to give up privilege.
Okay.
Because that paper was written about white privilege. Number one, there are no white people. And number two, the reason pale faces have the power that we have is because of ignorance. And because we don't educate, we train people to believe in the rightness of whiteness. Mm-hmm. That is the result of bad learning. What we have to do is self-educate. And the way you self-educate is, here's one of the ways you self-educate yourself and your children. See this map?
Yes.
Get a picture in your mind of the map that you saw when you were in school and that you would see if you were in school now. Can you see Greenland hanging down in the middle of that map like a great big ripe plum?
Yes.
If you look carefully at that map, if you read the legend at the bottom of that map, it says South America is actually 9 times larger than Greenland.
Yeah.
Now get a picture of that map again. Is South America 9 times larger than Greenland? And not in fact it isn't, but according to that map, it is. And
Emily,
that is the map. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Emily, Molly, our editors who are helping out, we have an article on that showing the different maps and the actual sizes, the accurate sizes is called, do you remember the name of the correct map that shows?
The Peters projection map, and here it is.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, but you have to know that.
In the sidebar.
Do you have a picture of the Mercator map? Is there one there in the studio?
Yeah, the blog we have has both of them in it. So we're going to put that link in the sidebar. Just look up Peter's projection map, Emily or Molly. Thank you for that.
Put up the Mercator projection map too, so that people can see the difference.
Yeah.
Because this is a map that is fair to all people.
There it is. Jane, the link is in the sidebar. The world isn't even close to what you think it looks like. That's the name of the blog.
Okay. The areas on the land areas on this map are distorted. The shapes are distorted, but the sizes are right.
Right.
On this map, South America is 9 times larger than Greenland. Look at the size of Africa on this map. It stretches forever. But look at the size of Canada on the Mercator projection map. It stretches from hell to breakfast, and it's wrong. Canada is only this big. You have to realize that this is called the miseducation of the American mind. Yeah. The Mercator map is. We need to stop using the Mercator map. Okay. We need to know the history of that map. The Mercator map was drawn by a man who was commissioned by the Pope to make a map that showed the spread of Christianity. And so on the Mercator map, the countries that have mostly people of other colors other than white on it, those countries are larger. The countries south of what is called the equator are smaller because they are countries without lots of people with no color. Now you look at the equator on the Mercator projection map, and you'll find that it's 2/3 of the way down the map. So you can't use the Mercator map if you're going to teach Northern Hemisphere and Southern Hemisphere, because hemi is a prefix that means half. The Mercator projection map doesn't separate the world into 2 equal parts. It separates it into 2/3 and 1/3. So you can either give up hemi, quit calling them hemisphere, or agree that you are miseducating the American mind. You are creating cognitive dissonance in children from the time they enter kindergarten. You hand a kid a box of crayons and you say, this is the white crayon. And every kid will put that against their skin because obviously they're white. And you have them put that crayon against your skin. Now, is your skin white, Sonny? Right. And they're all going to say, no. Then you say, from now on, we aren't going to refer to people as white and black. We're going to refer to people by their color group. Yes, but not white, because there are no white people. We are all shades of brown, very, very light brown or very, very dark brown. And we need to realize that. Thank you. Now there are a whole lot of black people who are going to say, I don't want to give up being called black. Fine. but I want to give up being called white. I'll
Mm.
call you whatever you want me to, as long as you don't want me to be called white, and as long as a white person doesn't expect me to refer to that person as white. We are all shades of brown.